Hey everyone, welcome back to the 20-hour ukulele challenge, and now I'm going to teach the advanced lesson on sing. So the patterns in this are pretty syncopated, they're kind of funky, and singing with them is even more fun. So my hope is that you will all have an easier time learning this than I did. I kind of pulled my ears out, but all things considered, I think we're going to do okay. And yeah, let's get into it. So there are two patterns outside of what I taught in the first lesson. You can find the lesson page and all the rest of the 20-hour challenge lessons if you want to learn that. The two main things he does is a pattern that goes like this. That's the intro. And then on the verses he goes. That's the verse pattern. And then he does a bridge pattern. And he just does those on the A minor and the D minor chords. So let's get into these patterns. So the verse pattern, it kind of follows a do 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 do. Kind of follows that idea. It's like down, down, down to up, and you kind of got to feel in the 16th. You got to be like downy and a downy and a down up, up 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 down up down, down 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 to up 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 down down down. And so he kind of does just those downstrokes, downstrokes, downstrokes for the first three beats, and then there's a little upstroke at the end of the three. It's like 1 and 2 E and 3 E and Now I like to go down and up to kind of try to feel the 16th groove that he's in. I think it's a really important way to get the feel. So you can go down and downy and down, down, up, chicka, chick, up to get to the end of that measure. So you kind of have an up on the of 3 and an up on the of 4. You're like 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and And if you want to, you can get the chicka chicka in there. And 2 E and 3 E and chicka chicka. So there's your first measure. Let's do it a couple times. I'll play it really, really slowly and count everything. Ready? 1 E and 2 E and here we go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Here we go. We'll do it one more time. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So that is sort of the end of our first measure. Now what happens is he basically, at this point, he's doing kind of 3 syncopated upstrokes in a row and then 3 downstrokes in a row. And he's in this checka, 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 1 E and 2. He's in that kind of pendulum. So if you do an upstroke, it's on an E or an It's on a syncopated beat. And if you do a downstroke, it's on a 1 or an and. That's just how this goes and how you make it feel right. So he kind of hits that up on the of 4, and he's going to skip the 1 and hit the E of 1 and the of 1. So he's basically going to do 3 upstrokes in a row. He's going to be like 4 E and 1 E and So I'm just going to count from the 4. I'm going to go 4 E and up, 1 up, 1 up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it together, starting from 4. Ready, here we go. 4 E and 1 E and boom. One more time. Here we go. 4 E and 1 E and here we go. One last time. 4 E and 1 E and yeah. And then on the 2 we just go 2 E and 3. We kind of give it one of these. 2 and 3, 2 and 3. Those are our last 3 strokes. So if we put those together, let's start from the 4 of the first bar and put those last 6 strokes together. Here we go. 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and notice that the of 1 goes right into the 2. So you have to go 2. You have to go up, down, right into it. So from the 4 again, here we go. 1 E and 2 E and starting on the 4. Going 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and one more time. 1 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and think I may have cut a count out there in the middle, but I think you're smart and you can figure it out. So what I want you to do is practice with that slowly. Use the YouTube app to slow it down or speed it up as you need to get that together. Now I'm going to do the whole verse pattern kind of slowly, and then you can kind of speed it up as you need to. So here we go. Whole verse pattern. Ready? 1 E and 2 E and here we go. Ba. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and one more time. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay. I'm going to let you work on that at whatever pace you want to. Now, just a general thing. You can put, for the most part, actually, this one you maybe don't want to put in a lot of mute strokes if you can avoid it, because it makes it a little more soulful. At tempo, it sounds like... So there's not a lot of extra mute strokes in there as opposed to... So you could do that too. If you're playing by yourself, you might want to do that. If you're playing with a band, you definitely want to do less. So that's just things to think about. All right. Now, the bridge pattern is not quite as long and complicated. It's kind of like a shorter version of the same thing. It's like you're going to go down, hammer, down, up for the one. So the one is 1 E and one more time. 1 E and So it's really key to be able to kind of hammer in the middle while you're doing an upstroke and not hitting the string. You're skipping while you're hammering. So make sure you got that down. And then you kind of chicka chicka. This you definitely want to hit the things. You want to go chicka chicka for the 2. And on the last chick, you kind of do an upstroke again. So you're like down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up. That's your 2. So you put your 2 and your 1 together, you get down, hammer, down, up, chicka, chick, up. And just like we did before, we're going to do a series of upstrokes after that. So it's going to be down, hammer, down, up, down, up, down, up, 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 and then chicka, chicka. So the 4 you just go down, up with mute strokes. But kind of going from your 2 in through your 3, you're hitting all these syncopated upstrokes. So it sounds kind of like this a little quicker. 1 E and here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and chicka chicka. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 last time. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and sped up you get. And I suppose one nuance I wanted to point out that I just remembered is when you do that, the first upstroke I usually kind of mute it sort of quickly. The second one I kind of let it ring and then I mute the third one quickly. So it's kind of like... Mute, open, mute. Mute, open, mute. Mute, open, mute. And if you speed it up, again, you're going to get... Okay, so do what you got to play along with that and try to get it down. And then, all right, so now I'm going to play through, probably up through the first chorus of the song, even though the second verse is super juicy. It's super duper fun. I spent forever learning how to rap and play it at the same time. But I'm just for the sake of brevity, I'm just going to get through the verse and pre-chorus and a chorus, and then call it a day here. So you can slow this down also with the YouTube app if you want to play along with it on the slower side. Here we go. Intro. It's late in the evening, glass on the side. I've been sad with you for most of the night, ignoring everybody here. We wish they would disappear, so maybe maybe we could get down now. I don't wanna know you're getting ahead of the program. I want you to be my lady, to hold your body close, take another step into the no man's land for the longest time, lady. I need your love, come on, set the tone. If you feel you're falling, won't you let me know? Oh, 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 oh. If you love me, come on, get involved. Feel it rushing through you from your head to toe. Oh, oh, whoa, whoa. Sing. Oh, 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 louder. Oh, oh, oh. Snuffers a blaze of soft flames from the side of the stage, and the fire brigade comes in a couple of days. I almost remembered it. Okay, so more on that in another lesson, but yeah, I also have guitar lessons on this, so if you want to go track those down, go for it. If you haven't done the 20-hour ukulele challenge yet, I highly recommend checking it out. Recommend it to friends who are beginners, and yeah, hope you had fun with this, hope you benefited, and yeah, catch you later. Bye-bye.